Good morning, Math 2. This is Math Lesson 113. I hope that you have your 20 pennies and you have your master that looks just like mine. It has the mint date of pennies on it. Remember, it has our lesson at the very top. We have used pennies before in math. Today we're going to look at the mint date of the pennies. Remember, the mint date is the date that the penny was made. The mint date you will find on the side of the penny with Abraham Lincoln's head. So take out your pennies, pick up your first one, and see what the date is on it. I am going to use 10 pennies for the math lesson today. Remember, you have 20 pennies that you are going to tally at the top and that we're going to use for the graph. And then after that, we have some questions to answer. So let's start with our first penny. I have 2004. So I'm going to put a tally mark in that space up here, 2000 to now. Next, I have a penny from 1987. $1985. $1994. $2004. $1985. Oop, another one there. $1979. $1999. $1992. Last one. 1986. Oop, right there. After you have done tallying all of your pennies, it's time for us to do the graph. I will show you what we need to do for that, and you can do it after you have done all your tallying. So take a look at the first column, or not the first column, our first box. Before 1975, I didn't have any pennies, so I am going to leave this space on our graph blank. In the next tally mark space, 1975 to 1979, I had 1. Now take a look at our graph. It goes from 0 to 2. I cannot fill in that whole square, so I'm going to have to draw a line halfway through that space and then color in the bottom half. Watch as I do it. Next up, in 1980 to 1984, I have 0, so I'm going to leave it blank. In 1985 to 1989, I have 4. So that means that I'm going to color in 2 spaces because this is 2 and this is 4. 1990 to 1994, I have 2 pennies. So I'm going to color in that 1 space since we're counting by 2s. 1995 to 1999, I have 1 penny. So I need to do what I did over here. And in 2000 to 2020, I have 2 pennies. So I'm going to color in 1 space. Now let's pretend for a minute that I had 5 pennies in one column. So I will pretend that, let's say before 1975, I had 5 pennies. If I'm counting by twos, that means this is 2, 4, so this space has to be cut in half so that I can have my odd number. I did that just in case you ended up with an odd number more than 1. Now take a look at the questions at the bottom of your page. I'm going to read them for you, and then you can read them on your own when it's time for you to do that. How many pennies were minted in the years 1985 through 1989? So I'm going to go up to this space. I can see that I had 4, so I'm going to write the number 4. How many pennies were minted after 1989? That means that I need to add those 3 numbers together. So 2 plus 1 plus 2 is 5. Which column has the most pennies? I'm not going to use this column because remember that was my made up number. So I'm going to use this column. I need to write the dates, 1985 to 1989. Remember, your graph is going to look very different from my graph. I used 10 pennies, you have 20 pennies. And you might have more pennies that are brand new, or you might have more pennies that are older. So remember, even your answers at the bottom are not going to be the same as mine. I hope you enjoy this math activity for our math lesson. And I will see you next time for lesson 114. Have a great day. Bye.